Hello, everyone. Welcome to Refresh Your Life Conversations, where broken pieces are restored to great treasures. And today, y'all, I'm so excited. So today I have a very special guest. She is an amazing woman. She is an amazing entrepreneur, but she's also an amazing woman in the community first. And I just want to first shout out all of the things that she has done. She has started the It's on the Run truck. She has been involved with marrying thousands of people in the community. And on Valentine's Day, she has a special ceremony for everyone who wants to get married at midnight on Valentine's Day. And I just think that is awesome. She also is just very active in her community. She is forever out here collaborating with small businesses. She's also a veteran supporter where she is also military family affiliated as well. And so because of that, she sponsors and helps veterans be able to put out there in the community. As myself, I'm also a veteran. And so, but without further ado, we're going to get this special Mother's Day celebration podcast today with our very own Bexar County Honorable Lucy Adame-Clark.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. And I love you, Frederica.
Oh, I love
It's an honor to sit next to you, especially for you serving our country and sacrificing so much. People don't realize that it's hard for women to not only serve, but to lead from the front. And y'all sacrifice so much. So I appreciate your service.
Thank you for that. I thank you so much. I'm a supporter for me and my business, and just all that I'm doing, I can always count on her. And we're gonna just go ahead and get this special Mother's Day started. And if you don't know who Refresh Your Life is, I am Refresh Your Life, Frederica Thomas. I started this business back in 2023, but God gave me this vision for this podcast. And I was like, really? You want me to just talk to people? And he was like, yes, because there are stories that need to be heard. And women need to know that they're not alone. Women need to know that they're struggling not by themselves, that we all go through struggles, but we don't want those struggles to keep us where we are. We want to lift each other up and support one another. And bringing on someone like Lucy Adame-Clark is just, they all can understand and know that she's here with you too. And there are people out here that are willing to hold your hand and help you along the way. All right. And so first, because Day on Sunday, I want to tell a mother, right? Yes. Because before you do all the things for the community, you have an assignment home first, right?
That is correct. So many women don't realize that you can become a leader just by being a mother, because you're leading your own home and you're running your own home as well too. So a lot of women are afraid to lead from the front, but if you have children or foster children, or you're leading a household and you're very successful at it. So I have two beautiful children. One's 27 and my other daughter's 17. She'll be graduating this year from Southside, and I've been married for over 20 years. The house, the main focus of your life. That's one thing my mother taught me from the very beginning. She said, if you don't have a strong foundation and you don't have a strong home, then you cannot lead a community because your home is broken. So you got to make sure the home is not broken. And that's what my mother did. She's a stay-at-home mom, and my dad's a Marine, but she made sure that her 5 strong daughters, one's IDD, so she'll never get married and she'll never have children. And she's my baby. She's 52, I'm 53. And it's very important that you know that this has to be the priority in order for you to have a successful career, a successful business, a successful life. And that's what God gives you. He gives us children to take care of them and nourish them and let them fly away and become successful. Yes. And that's my birthday. Yes. So Mother's Day is my birthday as well too. God. So I'm like, it's not fair.
Oh, extra special care on that day. That's awesome. Oh, and happy birthday from Refresh Your Life to you, Lucy.
Thank you.
That is so. Bible says our home, like you said, is our first ministry, and if we can't be examples and minister to the children, our children and families at home, how can we be examples to others out there in the community? And so it is just amazing to see how you have your daughter is so beautiful. I've been watching you celebrate her, on social media, graduating, and this is your last one, right? You're going to be an empty nester?
Yes, unless I find somebody to adopt. You have any babies out there? You want me to adopt them? Yeah, she's my last one. And you know what? She's actually married. So I went through a lot of in vitro because I had my son at 27, and back in the days it was so easy to get pregnant when people were younger. So when I was trying to have our daughter, it was a very stressful moment in our life, and I had 7 miscarriages. So I lost twins prior to her. So her name is Samantha Faith Clark. So but I'm extra strict and very, very sheltered with her. She's so independent. She's very powerful, so independent, and she's ready for a lot of times we raise our children a certain way, and then the world consumes them.
Yes.
Right? So it's a very scary moment in our nation and our community, but we can just do what we're gifted to do and let God just take them where He wants to take them.
That's right. I mean, that's so awesome. I know that about your 7 miscarriages. And what you all don't understand is this is not scripted, guys. Everything we're talking about is really just raw and organic, and that is the flow that I want to do for Refresh Your Life Conversations, because I want people to understand, there's so much on social media that is scripted, that is, put together perfect. But I want people to understand that we are not perfect people. We have issues we've experienced in our life, and we want people to understand this is real life here. Our life put together. When we walk out the door, it doesn't just always happen and go in the way it's going to go. We are ordered by God. Our steps are ordered by Him. And so one thing I did not know, Lucy, about your miscarriages, and I'm not to hone in on, but I've also lost 3 babies as well. And one of them was a stillborn. So I actually was 5.5 months, and I had to go through delivery and everything. So it was hard. And so I can understand that. And I know there are so many other women who can relate to that, but just know God has a plan. And He's created so things for us in this life for us to be able to get pregnant, but also in this life, He also, tells your body when it's time. Don't try to rush it. Let it happen when it happens. And
the reason I brought it up is because it's Mother's Day. And there's a lot of our friends, families, colleagues, and you all are our viewers. I want you to know that if you carry up your fetus and you don't have a child now, you're still a mother.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying it, because you had miscarriages. You have children, but to our mothers out there, if you carry a baby and God had a plan for your baby, you're still a mother. To me, you still had your womb who housed a baby in there, and just God had a different plan for your child. So Mother's Day to you as well too. Don't minimize yourself, because you still carry your baby. And our foster mothers, you get to choose your babies. So our foster mothers, our adopted mothers, or a father who's a mother to their child, thank you. Thank you for raising our beautiful children in our community, giving them a happy life, a loving life, because they're innocent and they're angels, and they're given to us in so many different ways for us to just give them opportunities to, water them like flowers. Let them bloom. Nurture them. Correct.
And it's a special mom to raise a child that has gone through so much. I want to say thank you as well. I know there are so many out there, and like you said, people who not actually had a child, but you've raised a child, you've nurtured a child, you had some form of characteristic for a child or each child. Maybe you were a mother to,
a sibling.
It can go away. So we just want to say thank you to all of you. If you have not heard that from anyone, thank you. Thank you from us to you. So I also want to go to, can you share with our audience who you are?
Okay.
What led you into public service?
Love it. So I'm Lucy Adame-Clark. I'm the county clerk of Bexar County, the 4th largest county in the state of Texas. There's 254 counties in Texas. We are the first woman, the first Latina, the first woman of color to ever be elected since 1836. Very historical moment here in Bexar County in 2019 when I came into office. But I was already serving the community before I came into office. My mother's a community leader. She probably would have been an elected official if she had the opportunity, but she took care of the foundation, and that's where we came in. So I was serving the community, either going to City Hall. My mother used to take me to the Goodwill or to the thrift store and buy me a suit.
Nothing wrong with it.
Well, I never knew why.
Right,
I was so young. I never knew why. I was going to City Hall, watching her fight for the people, fight for sidewalks, fight for teachers, go to school board meetings and make sure teachers were getting pay raises. And back in the 70s, there was no elevators in schools here in San Antonio. So there was no access for disability. whether they were disabled teachers or disabled students. And my sister was born in an era when they called it mental retardation. Now they call it IDD, or their Down syndrome. I'm 53, she's 52, so I saw those disconnections, those lack of resources. And then as I became of age, I started fighting for the same things. And I started my career at the sheriff's office, but I was a waitress, so don't think it was easy. I was a waitress at Blanco Cafe in San Antonio, Texas, one of the oldest Mexican restaurants. It put me through school. I went to school for paralegal and then started my career in '97 as a clerk one. But we advocated for against annexation, pay raises for employees, better insurance, equality, and access. When I was prom dress projects with my friend Adelina Prado, access to food because we live in a food desert area, and then access to opportunities. I was the president of the JROTC through the high school. My son was in ROTC, and I remember there was a student who was top 10, right, for a scholarship, but he was a legal resident of Bexar County, 10. So we took it to the table and we voted to remove that they had to be a U.S. citizen just to give people opportunities for scholarships, because this was way back when. So as I worked on a case of a 2-year-old little girl that got raped, and this little girl's 18 years old, and she'll never know who she is because she was so young, but it took several years for her case to go through court because I was doing forensic evidence for criminal investigations at the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, where I gave them 22 years of my time to them. And I saw the justice system was delayed. And that's in a lot of counties. That happens in a lot of states. That's why it's very important and imperative that you elect elected officials that were connected to the roots of your community, but also have the institutional knowledge and the experience to run in leadership positions, because then you don't want somebody who's on the job training and wasting your taxpayer money. So in 4 months, we automated the judicial system when I became the county clerk. And I promoted staff members from within and took them from the middle to the top. So I have over 300 years of experience in the county clerk's office, and our office has received from local to international awards and congressional awards. But it started from my mother. And of course, my father, the leadership, he's a Marine. He's still alive. He'll be 89. They've been married 60 years this year. So thank you. But he raised in the West Side. So to tell you a little bit of where I come from, I'm from the oldest projects of San Antonio. I come from housing. I was born in the Alasan Apache courts, where we were hidden behind walls and there was a lot of gang activity, a lot of drugs, a lot of things that happened in that community. So I shouldn't even be here because that's what they thought back when we were growing up. So my sisters and I are very successful, but we didn't forget where we came from. We always go back to the same projects where we were born, whether it's the Alasan Apache courts or the Casiano courts, and we look for 5 little girls similar to us to show them people like ourselves, military, elected official, community activists, community leaders, past the walls of housing and being poor, being homeless. We want to make sure that we show them that they look like us and they can be us. They can be us. They can older. I'm going to say we're getting older, and we want them to understand that we're here for them. And you need to be there for them as well too. Selfish. We need to share our knowledge, share our experiences, and don't be afraid or don't deny your past.
Come on.
Do not. Don't. Whether we're black, brown, whatever. And, just embrace it. And then got those struggles and those issues to deal with, so you can share with somebody else, because our generation to come would be in a way better place because I was you.
Yes.
And you're me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your testimony is powerful. Powerful. It's just, we need to share what we've been, struggles, our upbringing, all of the things, because how will the next generation know how to deal with it, right? Yes, they all got to face their own experiences, but they need to know this is where we started from. This is how we got through. This is how we made it through to where we are today. And like you said, it wasn't easy, but let me give you a little bit of what I've been through. That's awesome.
And it's hurtful to a point, because I grew up with a chocolate. Sorry.
Come on.
Daddy even looked at you, you were in trouble. And there were no cell phones, so the lights were off, you better be in the house.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I grew up like that too.
Yeah, and I'm glad we did, because look where we're at. But then our children, we're guilty of it too, because we're so afraid of society, because they're kidnapping our children, they're human trafficking our, children out there. So I understand what because we're sheltering our kids, and then when they go into the society world, they're like, whoa, what's this?
Mhm.
So I mean, just gotta keep our faith.
Yes.
And I like what I say is walk by faith, and we do. We have to walk by faith and just know that you good job raising your family and whoever you're raising, whether it's your nephew, you're doing the best you can with what you have because I haven't read a book. Have you read a book? I haven't read a book.
No.
Have you read
There
a
is
book?
not one out there. I'm gonna tell you now. And if there is, I promise you, it will not help you.
Yeah.
You'll be like, wait a minute, this is going right. Yeah. So it is a faith walk. It really is. It's a faith walk. So as a woman in leadership, what does confidence mean to you?
It means a lot. You're only given one opportunity and one chance to live your life the best you can. And that was instilled in me by my parents, right? And everything that I experienced in this world. Because I walked in the shadows of many others, I didn't have to build your confidence. And when I got elected as the first of the first, I never had a problem in the man's world because I walked in there with not only confidence, not cocky.
Come on.
I hate cocky people.
Yes.
I do, because I did tell myself, I'll love your confidence in this office, but don't walk around here all cocky, because we're gonna fail. Confidence means that you have identified your identity, because once you know who you are and you self-identify yourself, and the best reflection is a mirror, because as I walk into the restaurant, your only competition is you. But we're known to compete against others because that's what we grew up seeing. I mean, it's not our fault. That's just what we see. Social media, TV, and we always judge ourselves, and we're really bad about doing that. But now we got to turn the page and realize one chance, one life, one opportunity.
Yes.
It's like a fingerprint. That was my career before. I never saw the same print. Your blueprint is you. So my confidence is, of course, God, my foundation. And when I walked in the shadows of many, I realized I could be my own shadow.
Yeah.
So I walked with my own shadow. But then the confidence is because as I go on in life, and my term is a 4-year term, but my term is not a 4-year term. My term is up to him. So he can decide today and say, "You're done. You
have a race.
You made the race, and this is your blueprint." So don't focus on tomorrow. Focus on today and get your confidence going, because you want them to remember that you made an impact in this life. And it's not about being a legend. It's about leaving a legacy. The legacy will live longer.
Yes, it will. That's
very
very well
precious.
said.
Yeah,
Well said. Thank you, Lucy. This morning, every morning, and I do a devotional every morning. And, I picked this bag because we're doing a giveaway. And the bag, like she said, has Walk by Faith on it. And I was talking to my son yesterday, and he's going through something right now. And he was like, "Mom, I woke up and God told me I got to be grateful and thankful, even for the things I don't know is going to happen or is coming. I don't know." But he said, start thinking about small things. You're worried about something huge right now, but just be grateful for the little things. He said, "Mom, I woke up and I started just saying, God, thankful that I could see, thankful that I could speak, thankful that I could walk, thankful that I could hear." And I said, we take those things for granted. There's somebody out there who can't hear. There's somebody out there who can't see, who can't walk, who can't talk, like all of those things. And so he said, as he started becoming thankful and grateful, before even asking for anything, he said his prayers became longer. Because thanking God for all of the things before even thinking about asking him for anything. And so we have to stay in that spirit of gratefulness and thankfulness, because our lives could have looked so much different, even through the struggles, right? But we have to say thank you, God, that you got me through those struggles. You brought me to this place in life so that I could be a testimony to somebody else, to go back to where I came from and to pull somebody else up and let them know I want to lift you up, just like I got lifted up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it is true. And my example to my family, she's IDD. She has issues medically, but she was born like that, and she doesn't realize that and I even said this. It's on social media somewhere, and I'm talking to her, and she's at the table with my parents, and I'm talking about her because she's the reason why we're so driven to do more, because she's lacking all. She cannot be a mother. She cannot join the military. She cannot. I mean, if she gets married, she finds love, got too, but she has a mentality of a seven. And I'm talking about her. She's eating, and I'm laughing because I'm literally talking about her at our celebration when we won. When I say we, it's the community won, my staff won because they got pay raises, and my family won because now I can, be in a leadership where I can serve more. I can make changes. But I'm glad you're saying that because just look right next to you. Because my sister, when I look at her, I'm like, there's no excuse. There's no excuse because everything that she's missing.
Right.
And that woman's only 1 year apart from me. She got no gray hair. She got no wrinkles. And I'm like, we're sisters, and we're like literally 1 year apart, and you look like younger than I do.
You're right.
So what's going on here? But it's because they're special. They're angels in our community, whether they're autistic, special, whatever. But they're special in our community. No idea that they're put in our life.
Yes.
So it's going back to your son because he's not special needs, but he's a very special person. And my son's 27, and he's all into games and everything. But he has a career, but still, their generation is so different. They're it's not like us. We wanted marriage. They're like focusing on just themselves, but on drugs, as long as they're not struggling, okay with it. But if they are, we're here for them too. Yeah, we're here for them too.
So as we were talking about, being leaders and in the community, around it while carrying their responsibility, leadership, and public service.
First, God, I pray as I go in, I pray as I go out, I pray to go to bed, and I pray. I go into the office, I pray. You walk into the office, there's crosses. I stay grounded because as you walk into my office, there's some paper mache farm workers because my family, the Latino and the Black community, had a lot of and pecan shellers back in those historical days. There was a lot of railroad workers. So it reminds me of when my great-great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my father, before he changed the family, they all joined the military and then law enforcement and then on the first elected, right?
Okay.
I stay grounded knowing that I want people who are not robotic, that we're human, and I want people to still connect with me. I don't want to be a vision of something that a person who's going to become my shoes thinks they have to create that facade, that arena of somebody else. So I still buy at boutique stores, at a Texas thrift store, and on sale at Macy's. I still do that.
Yeah.
I still go to a salon. They do my hair, my nails, and my toes on the south side. I still do that. So being grounded is something that you yourself have to keep original, because the community of the arena of leaders, you can get lost in it. And they'll try to pull you, but then if you don't stay original, then you're never going to serve with purpose and passion. If you have passion, purpose, and dignity, and don't forget where I'm. So county, but I don't forget my roots. I don't forget my family, and I just want to be remembered as somebody who was an original leader that you could still touch. You can still talk to. You can pick up the phone and just call me Lucy. People are like, there's leaders that'll be like, oh, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. So-and-so. Hey, how's it going? So they still call me, like, calls me boss, and Miss Adame, Miss. But the community still, and I love it because I'm still me. I put my pants the same way you do, or the dress. I'm gonna get in the same hole that you are. I go to the restroom the same way you do. There's no difference. We're just chosen by you, the community, to serve this and the vulnerable. But then we gotta keep it original. So humbleness is in my roots, and every day I walk into my office, it reminds me why I just stay humble.
Yeah. And the word I heard while she was talking was authenticity. She's very authentic, and that is something that I love about her. She's just true to. And that's the original that she's talking about. She's being authentic to herself. She's being authentic to her community. And she's letting them know, this is who I am. And I'm personable. And that's who she is. I can personally know. I don't know. I've known Lucy for, I can't even tell you. It's been so long. 5 years or so. Yeah. And she's been the same. She's been the same person. But I've seen her do so many things for the people. What advice would you give a woman or women who desire to serve or step into a purpose but may not know where to begin?
Start by volunteering. Start by seeking in yourself, what do you love? Of course, if you're a mother, you're already leading from the front because you're leading your own. Start volunteering and start looking into organizations. Join circles that are safe space, but do some research before you join the circle of vet them. But do some research within yourself. vet yourself first and figure out what do you want to do. Me, it was instilled in me by my own family because that's what my mother did. But start joining those circles of purpose that you love to do. As simple as a school. I joined JROTC. My son was part of the program. I volunteered at a food bank. I volunteered by putting food on people's tables. And why does that matter? If you help put food on people's tables, then they won't be doing any stealing at a grocery store because they're stealing because they're trying to sell something to buy food. I'm not condoning it. What's happened? So volunteer, support the schools. If there's any schools around you and your kids are already grown, just support the schools. Join their organizations, support the cheerleaders, support programs that are, connected with the schools. And then the community will know who you are because I've been for over 30 years. But if you want to be in a leadership position, start joining some committees. There's a lot of committees out there that are volunteer. There's programs, there's a lot of projects that need support. There's a San Antonio Water Boards, there's a City of San Antonio, or there's CPSs. Anything that has a volunteer opportunity, join the table. One thing that we're really bad about doing, we're not sitting at tables. We're not taking seats. And 1836, I'm the first. 1836, why?
Wow.
Why? And just to imagine I'm the first female in general since 1836. But you know why? Because we're not taking seats at those tables. Take a seat, listen, pay attention, focus. And if it's not for you, move on to another table. Move on to another table. Use my platform. I'm always telling them to events. I take them to network. Get close to somebody that you trust, and we'll take you with us. And we'll join forces to allow you to sit at those tables so you can conversations, because what you don't know, you just don't know. But you're never going to find out if you don't open yourself to opportunity.
Yes.
So take the leap of faith.
Yes, take the leap of faith. And like she said, open yourself up to speak. And that comes with building your confidence, which goes into what Refresh Your Life is about. So Refresh Your Life is helping women transform themselves, transform and build their confidence through transformation. And it takes work. It's not something everybody's just born with, right? It takes work to build confidence. Confidence takes you really going out there, speaking to people, introducing yourself to people, even if it's just telling them who your name is. You may not even know what your purpose is yet, but just shaking hands. Have a firm handshake. My name is, and that right there people will start to pull something in you, and then it starts to build your confidence. It starts, just by telling me my name. Yeah. So I encourage you all, check out RefreshYoLife.com there, and you can purchase my book. It's Refresh Your Life Transformation Confidence Coaching. All right.
She hasn't ate yet.
It is true. I have not ate yet. But just know that we're here to help. We're here to help you be able to help build the in you. But again, it takes work. Journaling, talking about all the things that you've been through in your life, just all of the things to help get those things out on paper and then look back at them and be able to say where I've come from, where you came from, because sometimes we forget, we get so far in life, forget what we need to write back and read and be like, wow, I have grown. I've grown from where I was to where I am now. And that will build your confidence. I encourage you all to do that. Journaling is very important. And buy the book.
And she's making a journal. So.
Yes. Matter of fact, the giveaway is one of those books and some other goodies as well. So stay tuned. But why is it important for women to show up, use their voice, and take their place in rooms where decisions are being made?
Because it impacts you, your children, your future. Actually, it impacts the past fought for us. And they face adversity, discrimination, lack of opportunities. Well, now it's our turn. The future is here today, and tomorrow is going to impact us. So, women rights, women opportunities. We couldn't even buy homes. We couldn't even vote. We couldn't even own a business. Now we can do all that, and we're not even doing it. So this is why I'm saying women died for us to be here today. So it's important that you use your voice, because a woman's voice is a stronger voice than a man. Because men have been known for generations to be the workhorse of the home, and they were raised not to show emotion. And women, we can do 9 different things at one time. I don't know why, but God gave us that task, right? Because I have eyes behind me, in front of me, because my staff tells me all the time. So it's very important that you use your voice, because your voice is the strongest voice in the room that can make a difference. You have women that are becoming mayors. You have people that you have a president, vice president.
Oh.
Who would have thought you would have had a woman in leadership? So we advocate for education, opportunity, medical access, mental access. There's a lot of things that affect men. Pause. Okay, so menopause. There's a lot of things like even I heard this young lady I was talking to yesterday having issues on getting pregnant. So going through in vitro is getting expensive for them, right? No matter whatever your religion is, but you want to be a voice for them because you want them to have an opportunity to give birth in the future. So your students in schools, they're being impacted. They're taking away programs. You're a mother. It's so crazy because when I see women go up to the podium and speak during commissioner's court or in City Hall, I get goosebumps. You should see the room, the arena. The arena they focus, and whether the woman's speaking English or Spanish, the emotions of a woman's face gets the attention of the leaders. So women, start defending our community, start being a voice in the school boards, start being a voice in the city halls, and start being a voice in Commissioner's Court and at the state. The state, they're changing laws that are affecting women now. So you can apply at the state level and make sure that the laws that are being changed are to benefit the community, because our kids can't vote. They have to be 18 and over, and people are voting for them. They're voting for them, and it's impacting them before they even get a chance to vote. So be the voice and reason for the right things for their future, because we're missing their future.
Yes, that's true. That was a powerful statement, Lucy. I don't think we even looked at it that way. You know, the voting that we're doing now shows we're not voting for us, and I think we're selfish sometimes that we think it's about me, it's about what's happening. No, we're talking future generations that are coming after you. We're not going to be here forever, but they are. They're coming behind us, and what are they going to be left with? Right?
And that's where the legacy comes in.
Yes.
That's why I always say that statement, write in your wall. I don't want to be a legend. I want to be a legacy for our children, for the future to come. Because you have grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and what is the world going to look like? Because we're going to be gone, and this is a digital video of what they can see in the future, but they can go back and view the history that we talked about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we talk about people talking about sitting at tables, and I know some people probably think, I'm scared, I'm fearful. I don't know. Let me tell you something. As a woman first, but as a mother, as someone who didn't know about how to do business, run a business, do a podcast. Come on now. I was like, I was the first to say, really, Dad? I'm not qualified for this. But who says I'm not qualified? You just have to step out there in faith and just do it, and know that fear is evidence appearing real. That's what I see fear is. And so speaking of fear, what or when in a moment in time in your life have fear or opposition, and how did you move forward?
So that happened when I was younger, because when I grew up in the Alasana Pacha courts and I grew up in the Casiano courts, and that's why it's kind of dangerous for me, because we saw drive-by shootings, we saw terrible things growing up. So I don't know if God created this strength over me where I don't know how to be scared. So I see it in all my sisters, right? It's a fear that got taken away from us because of our upbringing. So the upbringing that we were in, we saw so much bad things happen. I mean, I saw somebody get shot in front of me, and then my parents moved us to another location. So like in front, but we were behind our door and in front of us right there on Saucito Street. And it was ugly. So there was a point when it really switched, was when I was 15 or 16, the neighbor in front of us, Casiano courts, gangs started happening in the courts. And this was like in the late 80s. And my home was like this, and it was all brick. It wasn't a home, it was the courts. Yes. And the neighbor was here in the front, and there's a sidewalk, and it was a cul-de-sac. And they were friends, and they did a drive-by shooting, so it hit the wall in our home. And I know why we had metal, what are they called? On the windows?
Oh,
the screen.
The screen,
yes. The oldest at the house, and the girls were upstairs, and Daddy. I remember that all I heard was, it was a high-profile weapon. Wow. And I was a teenager, And I remember I just rolled under my the captain bed. Remember those beds?
Yes, yes.
And I remember my father coming down and saying, Lucy, Lucy, because you
Yeah,
can hear it.
yes.
So I think that was when law enforcement came in and cleaned up the streets, and they were superheroes. I wanted to be part of the law enforcement world because they cleaned up the streets. But to answer your question, God put all that fear in me when I was younger that now I don't know if he sealed that, right? Because it was part of my life. It was part of my experiences. And so now I just walk in faith, and if it's into a fire, I have trust. So people are like, aren't you scared? Aren't you scared? And I said, it's not that I'm scared. I'm just walking in faith because he gave me a pathway. He did. So I don't know how I came out of there. I envisioned law enforcement. I became part of a law enforcement family. And then I envisioned my title and the county clerk website, and I became the county clerk. So so to answer your question, it happened when I was younger, and I just doing more for the future. And it doesn't mean I'm callous. It just means that I protected my vision.
Your vision.
To stay focused.
They say, like, when the horses, in order to keep the horses running, they put blinders on them. The blinders cover up their eyes so they can't look left and they can't look right? So we have to know that we have to put blinders on. We have to not be distracted left and the right? So we have to always know that those things that we face in life, they're there to distract us. They're there to keep us from moving forward in our purpose. But we cannot be distracted by those things that we face in our life. Things are only going to build us up and make us stronger.
And life wasn't perfect either for me. My parents went through basically a divorce, separation when I was very young. So I had a 2-parent household. They're married. They're going to 6 years married. But I give so much credit to my father because my father told me, because I was the oldest was married, and he said, until you get married and you have your own relationship, you'll understand your mother. So mind your own business, basically. That's what he said, right?
Right.
But
exactly.
I never did until I saw it, myself, right? And so I had my own relationships.
Yeah.
But for a man to say that and say to me, because I had this hate, because Mama was, but she went through a hard time. Yeah. He was one of the victims during the time of the nurse that killed all the babies. That was his junior, the Honorable Lucy Adame-Clark Jr., and that's why we carry my father's name. We carry his name in honor, not tradition. Yes. It's because he doesn't have a son who passes the name down. Yeah. But my father, being a leader, and you all being a leader, is not only the sacrifice, but it's just that passed on to us. And it was easy for him to say, while his heart was broken, he said, mind your own business. This is your mother and I. Wow. You'll understand when you get older. So even my heart, my father has so much love, and my mother is a strong leader, but she has love. But I was raised to love. And he dealt with adversity, discrimination, lack of opportunities. He's a dark Latino like me. But he never instilled that hate.
No, he's a dark Latino like me.
Like me. Yeah, I'm darker than her. But it's just loving, because you gotta remember, become mothers by fathers raising too. Yeah. So mothers so much, but if you have that father who gave you some structure, they're gonna have their father's day. Yeah. But still, I wanna thank him, because he allowed me to understand, to still respect my mother, because here they are 60 years later, right? Wow. Yeah. So that's a testimony of real love, because he said, I love your mother.
Yeah. There you go. That's awesome. So what do you hope people will take away from your story about your purpose, your calling, and the ability to serve others?
Well, the calling and through my career. My purpose is my passion, my heart, my dedication, and my family. It takes a village. And my community. A lot of my community members help me raise my children, help my husband and I take care of children. And the reasoning behind it is because, like I said earlier, one life, one chance, one opportunity, and make it count. Because at the end of the day, that final book is your story to tell, and to leave it behind to pass it on to your family members. I wish I would have known the story of my grandparents. I wish I could have read it. I wish I could have seen them. Did I spend time with them? I did. But now I regret not asking more questions. I regret not knowing more of their story. That's what I regret. So what I want you to take from this is, please take that leap of faith. Please take that opportunity. And please turn back and review and analyze your own story and see what did you face? What were your challenges? And then reverse the story and start all over again and build something from it. Whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's a business. So from me today, just take back that you can. It's possible and you will. But it's about you seeking inside of yourself and go make happen what you want to happen, what you want to happen in your lifetime. So I'm not your legend. I'm the legacy that I came here knowing that you gave me a chance to make sure that I did it right, integrity, dedication, opportunity, and supported you from morning to night. But don't forget your family though. Your family is your number one priority.